There we go. My life's kind of crazy. I feel like that's kind of cliche. But if you look at the top left corner, I'm involved in concert choir at North High School, where I just graduated. I did ISMA. I like to sing a lot. I like to go to Disney. Long story short, the picture of me by the trash can, I accidentally caught it on fire during one of our science shows. So that was a great time. I play lacrosse. I'm going to Franklin College, where I'll also be playing lacrosse there. So I'm super excited for that. On the right side, kind of my 4-H life, you can see a little picture of me and Reagan. Believe it or not, if you guys haven't seen him yet, you'll see him today because he has his skill session where he'll be dancing. Some of my best friends on the cow from State Fair School. I love to sew. I do fashion review. And I sewed that dress last year, and then a group of my friends in the top right corner. And I also hid my Instagram username in the bottom right corner if you felt like following me. All right, Emily, you're good.
Okay, my name's Emily Wolf. I'm also from Vanderburgh County. Last year was my last year 4-H, so I'm in college now. I'm a triple business major at Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. And the top left corner, you can see my favorite project. It was my dog, shocker. I love dogs. They're the best. So we did dog agility, showmanship, and obedience. And I also did sewing like Kara. Below the dog is me at my senior prom with that dress. I'm on the left. I made that in 4-H. To the right of that is me showing a rabbit. Another one of my passions is cake decorating. I want to have my own business eventually, but I did that a lot in 4-H. So there's 2 pictures of cakes I made. It was my first wedding cake for actually one of my 4-H leaders' daughters. So that was really exciting. And then at the very right is me and Nash. We were supposed to be team partners together for Clifty Falls for SJLC this year, and then right above that is all of the SJLC counselors. So we made this presentation because after lockdown started, a lot of people realized it's really hard to communicate with everyone stuck at home. So me and Kara changed from public speaking into a few handy tools to get you through this tough time and keep you in connection with your friends, and even tips to work with other people virtually in school and just like group project organization. So first, we're gonna do a little Kahoot to figure out what you guys already know. So if you go to Kahoot.com or use that QR code right off your screen, we can go ahead and move into our Kahoot. If I can move it here. I'll give you guys just a minute to keep looking at that. Oh, wait, the code's on here too. So here's our Kahoot. I'll turn on the music just a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but I always liked Kahoot music. Yeah, you can do that with your phone or like a little side window on your computer. Can't see y'all, so I don't know how well it's going. We do have friendly names on because this is a public setting with potentially younger kids and older kids, so the names are a little interesting. We got a fearless badger and a fuzzy badger. Focused bison, that's nice. How many people are in our group? I want to make sure we get all y'all in here before I start. 16 participants. And hosts and Randy, y'all can play too if you want. Oh no, someone left. No. 9 players, 9 of 16. If you guys need help too, you can say something in chat and we can get y'all figured out better if you need anything. Oh no, someone else left too. Okay. No, what? I don't know why y'all are leaving. I think it maybe connection issues. I don't know if I should go ahead and start. They can join later, right? Yeah. I think we should just go ahead and start. Okay. So these will all be questions a little bit about communication. So you start a group project in class that only meets once a week. What do you do first? And the game pin is down at the bottom if anyone else wants to join. Okay, so one reason we choose GroupMe is because it's inclusive and it goes across all sources of phones, all kinds of computers. Email isn't like direct communication, so it takes a lot longer to see. And GroupMe is like instant messaging, so it's a lot more effective than say iMessage because not everyone can use it. Okay, so we've got Focus Bison up in the front. Next question. One of your group members rarely contributes. They haven't turned any work in. What should you do? Oh, you can't see the questions? The questions should be shared on from my screen. They won't pop up on your screen individually. Good, you all got that right. You just want to make sure you're professional. Even if you're friends with the people, you should always stay professional so that any words that you look back on, you don't regret. Awesome Sphinx in first. Okay, moving on. What is a friendly alternative to Zooming your friends over break? And I assume you're all familiar with Zooming because we're using it right now. Congrats, y'all all got points. All of these are great options to use instead of Zooming. Oh, it won't let you answer? You do have to type, you click the button from your device when looking at the question from the screen. I don't know, maybe it's your connection. If you message Thomas, he can help you through it. Or Kara. True or false? You should allow your group members to procrastinate until right before the deadline, then complain to your supervisor. Instead of waiting until the deadline, you should make sure everyone's on top of what they're doing, because by the time you go to your supervisor near the end, a lot of professors will say there's not much they can do to help you. But if you go to them sooner, you can have an alternate plan in case they're not going to do what they need to do for your presentation or project. When writing an email, you should always use a professional format language, even if you're friends with your supervisor. This is true because, like I said earlier, you always want to look back and make sure things are professional in case anything comes into question. And some professors, especially, even if you think you're like friends and buddies with them, they you never know how they'll react to informal conversation. They might be offended because in the end they still are your supervisor. Here's our last not our last question, second to last. When zooming for class or meetings, it's okay to multitask and work on other projects. False. Although you might think you're getting away with it, holding your phone like off to the side, like you can see when people aren't paying attention. So if people ask questions and stuff, you always want to be ready. So it's not very polite to do other things while someone's presenting. And then last question. How are you feeling about this online SJLC? Whether today's your first interaction or you had all day yesterday, I want to know how y'all feel. Awesome. These are all very valid opinions. At the end, we will have participation links and surveys. If you could fill that out, we'll try to make the experience even better. I'm glad you guys are having a great time. And I really hope you go to the live SJLC next year because it is so much fun. Okay, we will go back to our presentation, and congratulations to Awesome Sphinx. Congrats. Okay, we're gonna move back onto our presentation. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, moving on. First, we're gonna cover group projects and professional resources. So whenever you're doing group projects, it's important to have these things already set. You need to have clear expectations and action statements so everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. A centralized place for all your documents so that you don't have notes here and your citations someplace else. Don't just rely on texting and instant communication. Speaking one-to-one or through a virtual meeting always works better because everyone is at the meeting and everyone can contribute. Everything should be recorded and monitored in case you have any issues with any of your group mates. You want to have the documentation to say that they didn't do this, or look at what they did, it wasn't nice, they shouldn't have done that. You want to have it all recorded so that there's no argument of what happened. And so we'll have a few tools to help you accomplish these tasks. My favorite is using Gantt charts. I use Gantt charts all the time. Any project I have, that's the first thing I do is set up a Gantt chart. It shows a clear timeline of your project, what needs to be done, by who, and when. It shows people, if they don't know what they're doing, they look on there, they see where their name is, they know what they're supposed to be doing. They're easy to create because there's pre-made formats on Google Sheets and Excel, and there's also free websites like Team Gantt that will set up very nice professional looking Gantt charts for you in easy ways. If you have everything scheduled ahead of time from the beginning to the end of your project, people can clear their schedule and make sure they have time to get done with what they said they were going to get done.
Google Drive folders. I'm sure most of you have had experience with these. It's a pretty simple place where you can store all of your items, whether pictures, forms, different documents, spreadsheets, whatever. An activity by group members is easily monitored. You can go through the settings and see what all everyone's edited, and when they've opened the document, if they have, or if they haven't. It's clearly organized, so no files are lost, because I know you can change colors of the folders, which I really enjoy, because my Google Drive is not only colorful, but it's also really organized. And again, all edits are seen and identified by all members. So it's not just one admin who can see everything and control everything. Everyone has to hold their group members responsible.
Okay, so here's a little overview of GroupMe. That's what we talked about earlier during the Kahoot as an alternative to just a large texting through iMessage. GroupMe is great because it works on all devices. So you can either download the app, which is available on all devices, or it can even go through someone's actual text. It doesn't require sharing personal information with your group mates. They just search you up on GroupMe and it links you to your profile rather than giving out your phone number to people who could distribute it or sell your information. And GroupMe is really nice because it also works on people's computers, so you can have it update on your phone, be on your computer, anywhere you need on the go. There's a little link here if you want to copy it to look further into it if it would be of interest of you. We use it all the time for SJLC and all my college groups. We use GroupMe. It's super easy to use and everyone can use it.
All right, Zooming. Obviously, that's what we're doing right now. And it's pretty easy to use and share. It's more formal than Discord, House Party, or FaceTime. But again, you can use it in a less formal setting, like kind of what we're doing right now. Unfortunately, it's potentially unsecure if you don't have a code and have the waiting room like we had today. And it's not completely free, but for the free account that you get to use, I think it's definitely a good source for virtual communication, because you get your 40 minutes to talk to your friends and you can just send the code out to whoever. And it's pretty simple to use, is what we're doing right now. But helpful free alternatives are Discord, Skype, House Party, and WebEx. And we'll talk about those later.
Oh wait, Karen, I think this was yours too.
Slack is also a group project management web source. It's pretty similar to Google Drive, except for you don't have to have a Google account. So in that odd case where you have a friend that doesn't have a Gmail account, they can also use Slack. They give free webinars and virtual help to basically set it up. But the setup is essentially the same as your Google Drive, but you can store polls and different forums and that kind of stuff that you may not be able to use through Google Drive on there. It's through Microsoft. So it's really cool.
So one problem a lot of people had was keeping up with their friends over lockdown. So this next few resources will be with hanging out with your friends. So one thing a lot of people know, there's so many online games you can play with your friends. But if you're not a gamer, we have some alternate non-gaming entertainment. So for hanging out with your friends, alternates to Zoom, Discord and House Party are both really good options. There's both voice chatting and video chatting on Discord. You can have multiple chats, as many friends as you want. It's free and very safe and secure on your computer or phone or any device you need. You can share links and pictures. House Party's a lot like FaceTime, except it's like a continuous open chat room. So you just log on to House Party, see what other your friends are on there, and you're FaceTiming right away. It has group games you can play with one another, and it'll send you notifications when someone logs into your house.
All right, Netflix Party. It's not free, but it's pretty easy to use. And the only reason it's not free is because it requires a Netflix subscription. So most of my friends already have that, and I'm hoping that's the same for you guys. But you can easily pair it to Zoom or an alternate way to talk during the movie or TV show or whatever you're binge watching. And the movie is easily synchronized between users. and can be accessed through Chrome extension. And as you can see in the little screenshot picture we have on here, you can chat on a sidebar while you're all watching the show together. And I think that's really cool. That way you don't have to necessarily talk over each other while also talking over the show. You can text throughout the movie while also watching it side by side.
One really fun one that we'll play if we have enough time at the end is Scribbly. So it's kind of like Pictionary, except it's online and you can connect from anywhere. It's free and really easy to use. You create shareable links and you can send it to your friends, or you can join public global games. I don't really recommend that. But you can create custom word banks and set it to as long as you want and have virtually as many people as you want playing.
All right, virtual book clubs or cooking clubs. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory, but you can read your book simultaneously with your friends and meet up to have a discussion. Because the library offers a lot of ebooks despite being closed, and all you need is the library card. And they also offer audiobooks. So if you don't really feel like scrolling through your phone reading a book, you can listen to it, which I think is awesome because all you need is an app. I have an app called Overdrive, and that's where I check out all my library books that I can read on my phone. And again, with the cooking club, you find a recipe to make alongside your friends. Either you do that simultaneously through FaceTime or a Zoom call and enjoy the experience of being in the same kitchen as everyone. That, or you can make it and then compare the outcomes over a Zoom call. I've done that before and it was really fun.
And of course, what you're all here for is 4-H stuff, right? So it's really hard to conduct 4-H activities virtually. So we came up with a few activities you can use in your club or your 4-H friends to help you stay in touch. The first one is online office games and team building. There's a lot of games online like virtual trivia nights and bingo and categories. There's actually a link right here you can search up. And there's so many games online that you can play together virtually that actually helps you build as a team and gets to know each other better. And that's great for 4-H and leadership.
Okay, Tiny Campfire. It is not free, but it's definitely fun. I've looked into it, and it's an awesome way for team bonding over if we were to have to quarantine for a longer time or over Christmas break maybe, this would be an awesome way to get to know your club officers or members of your junior leader club, because it involves intros and icebreakers, camp games, ghost stories, s'more making, and then kind of a wrap up, which overall I think is an awesome experience if you cannot meet in person.
Can You Hear Me Now is also a game you can play online. It's similar to Pictionary or charades, and you can play in really any conference room. You just have to have one speaker, and everyone else are artists, and you got to be able to share your screen with one another. So hopefully you've seen a lot of new great resources that you can use hanging out with your friends or 4-H members. So now we'll ask if you guys have any questions for us. You can type them in the chat or unmute yourself, whichever works best.
And we're sorry if this was a lot of information thrown at you at one time. We were really hoping to meet in person so we could do the main activity that we were planning. And I will spoil it a little bit for next year to get you hooked on coming. We were planning on making pancakes. So that's kind of hard to do over Zoom, but we're looking forward to doing it next year.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, if not, thank y'all for coming and watching our presentation. Here's our credits, gotta do that. There's a QR code and a link here if you want us to email you this presentation and this little resource page, but it will also be posted on the SJLC website So you can just wait for it on there, or we'll send them all out tonight, whichever way. How much time do we have? Oh, we only have 2 minutes left. We could have played a Scribbly. I don't know if we have enough time to play a Scribbly game.
I don't think we have enough time for that.
But I can go ahead and show you guys how it works. If you want to see it, I got screenshots for y'all. So basically, it looks just like this. That's what it looks like whenever you're playing. You can draw, and up at this, I don't know if can you see my mouse? Up here at this top area is where you see like the spaces for the word, and it gives you little clues to it. We got a timer. You can set the rounds, and then over here is where you like put in guesses, unlimited guesses really. You can have as many people as you want join. This is how you choose the word. We even made 4-H themed words for you guys. It's so sad. We'll be faster next time. And yeah, so you can choose your word and then draw it like with your tools and enter the words there. And yeah, it's really fun if you have not a huge group. It's not the best with huge groups of people, but if you have a few friends that you're zooming with, it's super fun to play, and you can put in your own custom words. And yeah, it's super easy. So thank you guys for watching.